I believe the first 100 days of President Obama's administration will be remembered for the unprecedented level of new federal spending and the return of big government. This, together with the advocacy of the far left liberal causes from abortion rights to gun control to universal health care, will put him on track for a repeat performance of 1993 when a young Bill Clinton entered the Oval Office under the banner of change. He had everything. He had the House. He had the Senate. And the left had their hooks in him. Nothing's more indicative of the stark contrast between conservatives and liberals than the massive government spending spree now underway. In Washington, it's his first year in office. Bill Clinton put forward what was then the largest budget to date, a $1.5 trillion budget. Now, on this 100th day of President Obama's administration, the Senate is poised to vote on what would become the largest budget to date. This budget, which highlights his priorities, is the most radical and partisan budget we've ever seen, and it includes a $4.4 trillion in additional deficits, $3.5 trillion total spending just for 2010. $1 trillion in taxes on individuals and businesses, $634 billion down payment for government-run health insurance, $650 billion in energy taxes for climate change, and $750 billion is set aside for more Wall Street bailouts. Further, I'm particularly disturbed that President Obama's massive spending increases come at the expense of our nation's military. I was in Afghanistan when President Obama's military cuts were announced, terminating the F-22. That's the only fifth-generation fighter we have. Terminating the C-17 program. Terminating the Future Combat System, which is the only ground defense transformation in 50 years. And worst of all, decimating our missile defense system. Sadly, this president is on track to grow the country's obligations to 22% of our GDP, while he shrinks defense spending in relation to GDP from 4% to 3%. Well, there's no more visible evidence that the American people are already rebelling than Arlen Specter becoming a Democrat. He did this for one reason, that is, his advisors told him that he can't retain his seat as a Republican. In other words, the same people who supported him 6 years ago have soundly rejected him today. That, my friends, sounds like 1994. The extreme liberal agenda is not sellable to the American people. Just wait and see.